Good evening, welcome to another video. This is the evening now, it's about 6:15, something like that. I'm out for a couple of hours, probably will only be a couple of hours because no night fishing on this stretch, to see if I can winkle out a barbel. That's the plan. Bit of an opportunist session this one. Didn't think I'd be coming out. My wife's been out all day. I was taking my daughter to swimming, which is about half a mile up the road. And just before I left, my wife walked back in the door and I said, "Oh, is there any chance you could pick Jasmine up from swimming?" Yeah. So I'm free. I've dropped her off and I'm down here. Love a big chub, although ideally I like to catch chub on the float, but there's some big ones in here, pushing £7 I've heard, and some big old barbel as well. So either of those would be fine. Absolutely fine. Well, more than fine. Very happy with. So yeah, what I've done is I've just mixed up a little bit of Groundbait. And what I've got in here is a very sticky mix that'll actually enable me to fish on the method. And what I've been doing just for the last 10 minutes or so is just trickling some of this in. Just tiny little balls. It's yay big. Just trickling some in, really get some smell in the swim. I don't want big lumps on the bottom. That's why I'm doing this, because as I say, it's a bit methody, so it's probably not going to break up. Now what's in here is, well, I'll stick it on the screen and in the description as well, exactly what constitutes this. Gear wise, I've got my Daiwa Evo £1.75 test curve rod, reel wise GSBR LT 3000. I'm going to probably fish with a method feeder, but maybe with a shortish Hooklink. We'll just play it by ear, see what happens. But that's my thinking at the moment. All the gear I'll stick in the description, as I always do. Now, I've got a couple of sessions to update you on. What I'm going to do is, I think I'll just get myself set up, get comfy, and then I'll run you through exactly what's been happening since you last saw me. Right, here we are, all set up. Got myself comfy, well, sort of, as comfy as you can be sat on a hooking mat. But we're only here for a couple of hours, so I don't need a chair. I'll probably fall asleep if I put a chair. Now, as mentioned, I'm going to go on a method feeder. This is really because I've mixed up some method Groundbait, and it's not going to come out of a normal feeder very quickly. And I do like having a bit of attraction next to the hook. Does also mean we can fish the method should we want to. This is mostly Groundbait. I've got a few pellets in it. Going a bit easy on the feed though, because last night it went down to about 4 degrees locally. I'm sure that's going to hit the water temperature relatively hard. So I'm being just a bit ginger about it all. I'm trying as well to keep quiet, but I'm doing a bit of banging at the moment. That's why I'm keeping my voice down a bit. I don't want to scare everything in the swim. It's very intimate in here. So I don't want to spook all the fish. I've not seen anything. Well, there are thousands and thousands of smaller fish in here, as usual. I've not seen anything else. It's a lovely evening. It's quite still. It's been reasonably windy today. As I say, it's quite still now. Another reason I'm keeping my voice down. Right, I think we might as well have a cast in. Swing this out and then I'll let you know what's been happening. Fantastic. Right, we are fishing. We'll await developments. It's clouded over, so you never know. We might nick a bite before dusk, but these Avon fish generally, not always, generally it's about dusk. It's all about the drop in light. When this river is like this, it's crystal clear. So, what have I been up to update you? Well, I've been on a couple of guiding sessions, so they'll be over on the Fishing Tips channel, which will be linked in at the end. A couple of cracking sessions down on the Y. As for my own fishing, well, sort of my own fishing, I planned a day on the Y with my friend Tony. We fancied doing a bit of trotting on a new spot we'd sussed out. A new little stretch, bit of wading, bit of trotting. And until about 2 days before, it was looking perfect. Then it rained. Then it came up and up and up and up. So we decided to give that a miss because we wanted to do some float fishing. So I invited my friend Tony up to the swim you saw actually in the last video. The one that's about the only one that fishes in the day when it's sunny and when the river is clear. And yeah, it took a while to get things going. I managed to get the first one out, and then I handed the reins to Tony. I said, fill your boots, mate, you know, I can come down here, it's half a mile from home. I can come down here whenever I feel like it, fill your boots. And he had a cracking session. Well, session, I say, about an hour and a half. I think he had, from memory, 7 or 8 really good chub out. Some really nice ones. All on the waggler as well. Just fishing single maggot, as I often do down there. I'm sure you've seen previous videos of me down there. Yeah, cracking, and then we had a good couple of hours at it, and it all went a bit quiet then. So we decided to have a bit of a break, have something to eat. Went back to my house, had something to eat, and then we nipped down. Actually, there's this stretch, but further on down. We got here, it was rammed, absolutely rammed. So we had to wander down where we wanted to go, where I lost that carp, in fact, down there. Oh, there's a tap. Unfortunately, there's someone in that swim. So we walked all the way up here. There's someone in these swims. So we ended up walking all the way back again. We found a swim I'd never fished before. But my mate Mick had fished it from Piscatorial Quag Swagging. He'd fished it before. He had a barbel out a few weeks beforehand. So we sort of dropped in there, shared it. But nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened, unfortunately. Not a sniff. Mick turned up, dropped into the swim below us. He didn't have anything either. So yeah, a bit of a shame to end the day like that, but it's the way, isn't it? It's the way sometimes, barbel fishing. I see some fish down there. So that brings us up to yesterday. I nipped out yesterday for a couple of hours. I think I ended up only being out for about an hour and a half. I was trotting a swim. I had to make the swim first. I was trotting a swim, which I did quite well in the winter. Just wondering what it would be like in the autumn, early autumn, as we are now. Anyway, we'd had a cold night. In the swim's defence, we'd had a cold night the night before. It'd been down to about 6. Must have hit the water temperature. And I was quite a chuck, but I don't think I caught anything above about 6 ounces. Lots of little roach, little dace, a few perch. But yeah, like I say, nothing significant at all. So I just thought, no, let's leave this. So yeah, I knocked it on the head. I was going to nip out today, but I just haven't had a chance. Like I say, managed to come out now. So I'm really hoping we can have a nice fish or two. 2's pushing it. A nice fish would be good. A bite would be good, to be honest. But as I say, it may well be about dusk today, which is not far away. Hour. It'll probably start getting dark in an hour's time. So it's relatively dark now. The light levels are certainly dropping with this cloud. Just hoping, we've had a sunny day, I'm just hoping with this cloud coming over, perhaps it'll encourage the fish out on the feed a little bit sooner than they would otherwise. I do love this sort of fishing these days. I used to use sort of a couple of rods. If you've seen some much older videos, you know, a couple of rods. And I do love the sort of purity these days of just fishing with one rod. Travelling relatively light, although we're not going to do any roving today. I think we're better off sticking out in here. I know there are some barbel in here, or generally are anyway. Whether they're hungry or not, who knows? We'll find out, won't we? We'll just have a nice quiet couple of hours down here. I'll keeping my voice down a bit. There's a couple of cars in the car park, there's some anglers around. I've not passed them. I don't know whether they're up that way or much further down on the stretch, I'm not sure. But I'm keeping my voice down a bit just because I don't want to disturb anyone else, plus also don't want to disturb it in here either. Bait wise at the moment I've just got a robin red pellet on, and it's sat about 9 inches below the feeder. I do like a method feeder because obviously once all the bait's gone off it, there's nothing really left there. It's just the flatness of the feeder. So there's nothing really obvious sat in the fish's faces, because they do see some anglers along here, and they're not daft. And of course, if they do start to attack the method feeder, then we can go on the method proper. But I can't imagine that's going to happen here, to be honest. They need to be really hungry, and you need to have a decent amount of fish really for that to work. It's teeming with small fish in here. Every time I throw some bait in, small fish are all at the surface, eating the bits and pieces. There's loads of small fish down here. Some slightly bigger one, some roach sort of this sort of size. Lots of little fry, what look like this year's fry, and everything from 5mm long to an inch. Let's give them a bit of grub, shall we? There you go, knock yourselves out, chaps. Blimey, it's not going to even at the bottom. Oh, blimey. A perch has just shot out the reeds. I think it was a perch, it wasn't massive, whatever it was. It shot out the reeds with his mouth open. Might have been a small pike, I guess. But it was, this sort of size. Spooked a lot of them. Let's do some more perch fishing. Oh, hello. Oh. Well, just bringing some pellets in, as you saw. We've had a proper pull. That looked like a feeder pull, that did. I was just thinking about bringing it in. It's been out about 20 minutes or so. I just think I'm going to bring it in and see how much of that groundbait is left on. But I think that was a feeder pull, and I think that's would indicate there's some groundbait still on that feeder. What I'm not going to do as well is strike at indications like that, because if they are picking the feeder up, which that looked like it was a feeder bite, I don't want to spook them by pulling the feeder out of the mouths. It's one thing if they have a little bit of a pull and think, oh, that's not right, there's something wrong with that. There's something very different if they pick it up, stop pulling it out of their mouths. It's good we're getting a few signs though. I thought it could be quite tricky today. That cold night last night. But it has been quite hot today. Well, hot. 19, I think 20, something like that. I haven't run you through the setup, I've just realised. It's my sort of running ledger rig, which doubles as a method feeder rig as well. I made a video about it, which I'll link in up there and in the description as well. And that's over on the Fishing Tips, Tackle and Tactics channel. Again, along with the guiding videos, that will be linked in at the end as well. So you can nip off over there and have a look at those videos and exactly how I set this rig up. But it's very, very adjustable. I can be fishing the method 1 minute, and fishing with a big long tail, long distance between the feeder and the bait the next minute. It's very, very easy to adjust. Ooh, go on. Go on. God, that was a hell of a clang, wasn't it? Something big's just topped over there as well. Blimey. That was a heck of a pull. Well, as you can see, the sun's gone down now. I would expect in the next half an hour, 45 minutes to be the time really. We're going to get a bite, hopefully anyway. It's just 7:20. I'm not sure what time sunset is at the moment. 7 o'clock, 7:05. So yeah, it's gone down about 10-15 minutes ago. Plenty of life in the river, certainly. The amount of fish that are jumping out, topping and splashing. And the water temperature dropping hasn't put them off, I don't think. If we don't catch anything, I'll have to think of another excuse. Hello. Blimey, that went over, didn't it? Blimey. That properly went over. I'm not sure what we're attached to. I think probably a chub. The feel of it. It's not beating me up. Or is it? Looks a big one, whatever it is. It is a chub, and it does look a proper one as well. Blimey. Well, as I was saying, I'd rather catch them on the float, but if I can't catch them on the float, I'd rather catch them on the feeder. He's no monster, but it's better than a blank. Well, there we are. As I say, he's no monster at all, but he's a nice fish. It's actually just pushing 8 o'clock. I was just thinking I was going to call it, because aside from several chubby clangs, not a lot had happened. I think we'll have another perhaps 10 or 15 minutes. I don't want to push it there, as I say, there's no night fishing on here, but I think we can have another 10 or 15 minutes. Right, I'm going to call it a day there. I've had a few more clangs and there's lots of taps and rattles on the tip, but yeah, I think maybe just with these cold couple of nights we've had, it's probably a bit of a long shot chasing a barbel, but I had the opportunity, so I thought I'd have a go. At least we're not blanked. We've had a chub, not particularly big one. It's got me thinking more about this stretch as well. There's some big chub on this stretch, as I mentioned earlier, so perhaps over the next few days, next week, we'll try and get up here, do a bit of trotting. The river's not in great conditions, as I say, it's crystal clear, but we can perhaps have a go, just see if we can winkle 1 or 2 out. We can't get here at dawn because I do the school run. Can get here for about 9:30, something like that, but we'll perhaps come and have a go. I've got my eye on another stretch as well, the stretch I mentioned earlier that I went to. I've got an eye on a different swim on there as well, so we'll perhaps go and have a go there. Maybe tomorrow, I might be able to get out tomorrow, or perhaps it'll be Friday. As I say, I'm guiding on Thursday, and that video will be over on the Fishing Tips channel, which will be linked at the end. But for now, unless this rod wraps over in the next 10 seconds, all there is left to do is to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your wonderful support. Thanks to those of you supporting me through buymeacoffee.com. And I'll see you again very soon.